tools we'll need for today: 7mm nut driver, a 5/16 nut driver, a flathead screwdriver, a Torx 20 wrench, and an Allen wrench. Real quick, if you guys could like, subscribe, we would really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the bell. So we'll start with the 7mm nut driver, loosen the bolts near the throttle body, and then near the filter lid. We're going to be taking off the hose, the connector hose from the throttle body to the actual intake. Once you have it loosened, pry it off the throttle body, be gentle, and pry it off the intake box. Now you still have some things attached to it, so don't just rip it out. Take this opportunity. There's a baffle attached to the hose. Going to detach this hose from the baffle. And now we're going to take this hose away from the area. We're going to loosen this clamp. We need to take this baffle off of the stock hose and put it onto our aftermarket hose. This is the baffle. Now that it's detached, we're going to attach it to our aftermarket hose. First, we plug up one of the holes that's not needed, and we put our clamp down. Let's get that started, and now we put our baffling in to the hose. Once the baffling's in, put your clamp down and start to tighten. Once it's hand tight, you can use a wrench or a tool to get it a little tighter. Now that that's done, head back over to the air box and take out or loosen the mass airflow sensor. Make sure to be very careful with this. This is a very important piece. Now that it's loosened, I'm going to take off the air intake lid. Now there's 5 screws, just have to go around the locations of those screws. Now that that's done, take off the airbox lid, and you can also take out the filter. Be gentle. Again, now you have to take out the mass airflow sensor. Gently place that down in front of the engine. This is what the filter looks like. Now there's 3 pieces holding the lower air intake in. You can just pull them out. These are the 3 locations. Those will be utilized for our mounting of our new cold air intake. With the new filter and housing, just push that into the stock mounting points. Now, as fast as we can, we're going to try and make sure the MAF is safe. We're going to place that now into the aftermarket coupler. Attach that now to the cold air intake. the actual filter, which is inside of the housing. Just so it doesn't fall out, we're going to tighten back up in there. Now, if you notice, there's actually a mark on the lid or housing of the intake, and there's a mark on this coupler. You have to rotate the coupler so that it lines up to the box. This is kind of what it should look like. Now, this air intake utilizes an extra piece to avoid or stop some howling or whistling that apparently happens with this intake. This piece is added behind the throttle body, in between the throttle body and once you have the bolts out of the throttle body, just place it to the side, and we'll add our extender or throttle body spacer. Bolts right in behind the throttle body. Now go back around, tighten everything up. And that's good to go. Quick layer of lubricant on both the coupler and the throttle body. The aftermarket hose should be ready to go back on. Start on the coupler side, makes it easier to twist onto the throttle body. Once that's on, move it slightly towards the throttle body and push that onto the throttle body. Now just tighten up the clamps. It's also good practice when tightening these clamps. Make sure they face a proper direction, making it easier to tighten or loosen in the future. Make sure to put your hose back on to the baffle. We're almost done here. Last step, I'm going to put on the lid to the intake. It fits right on top. There's 3 screws, and they screw down about a half turn before they lock. There it is, guys. You're all done. Again, if you can, hit like, subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Pretty easy install, pretty quick. Well, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Until next time.